conditional use permit and have reviewed the engineering and drainage plans and seem to be okay with it, so I would have to agree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would agree with Ms. Danny Pearson that I think for our purposes here, for planning commission purposes, we look at the conditional use permit and staff has thought that is, and I again would encourage the people in the back that this isn't necessarily the place where you have your problem. You need to go directly to the highway department and the county commission thus and get those concerns raised to do what you need to do. So we only deal with the building permits and the land use here at this level. So I agree with
Should we put one of your commissioners on the hot spot? Should we ask Gerald? Gerald, how about you've listened to this? If they were to appeal this and come to a joint meeting and give their concerns, not so much about the building and the house being put in, but the drainage,
Right.
could that help maybe move things along a little bit as far as some future plans, as far as that drainage way under that highway?
I think it would move it up the priority list. I think the issue would be is that we'd probably ask for an engineer opinion and to make that happen a little quicker based on, frankly, the building of the house and the accessory building would happen quicker if, in fact, they were there to plead their case. Frankly, the list of culverts, bridges, and everything else has grown dramatically this year because of changes in management and engineering staff. So I would suggest that that be the priority, is that they do bring that to try to move it up the list quicker.
They could visit with staff as to how to do that. Either that or I'm assuming appeal. If it were to pass, appeal it and talk directly to the commissioner.
Can do that also. But there has to be some public conversation about that.
Any other discussion? All in favor on the city side of the motion will signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed? Motion passes on the city side.
All in favor on the county side, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes on the county side.
As chairperson, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Adjournment passes on the city side.
You got 5 gallons.
I know.
Don't hold 5 gallons.
Hey, I agree with you.
Yeah, I know.
Is that the problem?
What's going on?
Yeah, they don't have any grading requirements or anything like that. So, you know, if you're in the city, you can do. I don't know.
Good to see you.
Johnson did.
You know, it's not.
Let's see. See you next month.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I call to order this regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission and we'll begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Any final action taken on conditional use permit requests will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the planning office by Monday, October 29th at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, November 20th at 9:15 in this same room. At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. The minutes from the September 24th meeting are included in the consent agenda. Are there any objections from the Planning Commission members to any item listed on the consent agenda? Okay, next I will read each item on the consent agenda. If anyone in the audience objects to the item, you can just raise your hand and we'll move the item to the regular agenda and then you can address the commission later in the meeting. Okay, item number 1 is an approval of the minutes from September 24th. Item number 2 was deferred from the September 24th meeting, and it's a conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, and there was 12,222 feet requested, and this is located 1.5 miles east of Midway Corner. I didn't see any. Okay. Item number 3 is a conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, and 2,500 square foot was requested. And this is located 1/2 mile south of Iverson Crossing intersection. You want that moved? Okay. Item number 4, conditional use permit to transfer 1 building eligibility. And this is 4 miles north of Humboldt.
She's
You
the
want that?
petitioner. She's the petitioner. She's gonna want it.
Okay, all right. Number 5 is the conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area. This one is for 1,500 square feet, and this is located 1/4 mile north of Yogi Bear Campground. Item number 6 is a conditional use permit to allow a full-service convenience store, and this is located at the Baltic exit. And item number 7 is a conditional use permit to allow a one-station salon, and this is 5 miles west of Garrettson. Okay, so far I just noted the one, and that was item 3 that wanted to be moved. Is there any other one that anybody wanted moved that I missed? All right.
I'll move approval of consent agenda.
Okay,
with
we have
all
a,
items.
okay,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, if you had any of those items except for number 3, your item has been approved, and you are free to leave. Is there a motion to approve the regular agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, for the regular agenda, we will follow our normal hearing procedure by requesting planning staff to present a report, and then the petitioner will come to the podium and discuss the item, make a statement or answer questions. And then anyone from the audience wishing to address the item shall be recognized and move to the podium, introduce themselves, and the planning commission will then discuss the matter and take appropriate action. Thank you. All right, Pat.
That's fine. Item number 3 is conditional use permit number 12-53 to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, requesting 2,500 square feet. And as you can see on the map, this is located in the Red Rock or Ostranders subdivision. And the petitioner's property is outlined in the red. He has an accessory building already on this property, which is about 1,152 square feet, and he wants to double that size. And at the time of the application, we weren't quite sure what the exact measurements were going to be, and so that's why the request is the 2,500 square feet. This neighborhood has a number of different building sizes in it. The smallest is 528 square feet to the largest, which is over 3,000 square feet. So the petitioners does fall within the standard at which we review building sizes. We are requiring several conditions for approval of the building: that a total accessory building area not exceed 2,500 square feet, that the building be for personal storage and no commercial business be allowed. 3, that the building permit is required prior to the start of construction. 4, that the building inspector will come out and measure the building on the outside perimeter. And that 5, the planning department can enter and inspect the accessory building at any time, as long as we give proper notice to the property owner. Okay, I guess you have in your packet.
You don't have any photos in that?
Oh, I thought we had this. You have in your packet the map of the accessory building areas. I'll just hold it up. You can see the petitioners, it's the 2,500 square feet on the corner at 48092. directly kitty corner, you have a building that is 2520, which right there would be larger than what they are requesting. And the petitioner is here tonight to speak to this item. And then the people in the audience that asked that this be heard, I'll just show you. They live here to the south of the petitioners. And I think there was some concern. We did have, prior to this property owner, a woodworking business, I think, that started up there. And I think that's the concern in the neighborhood, that they don't have another commercial business start. So with that, I would take any questions, or else Mr. Carlson's here as the petitioner.
Okay, thank you. Is the petitioner here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Chip Carlson. I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just asking to add it for personal use. You know, our company has thousands of square feet of building and a lot of acres up by the penitentiary, and it's not for any commercial use at all. I have cars and I store them in town, and I like to work on them at home, and that's the only reason for the addition.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Carlson? Thank you. Okay, anybody in the audience that wishes to speak to it?
My name is Jeff Kreibel. I do own the property at Red Rock, just south of Mr. Carlson. The concerns that I had was just more of just clarification of what this was to be used for, and that was more for the personal use, and also that the property would not be rezoned for commercial use. That was my concerns, and just wanted to hear that for the record.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, discussion or motion?